Hey guys, what's up? Let's do the first collection goals. Hopefully this becomes a standard of the channel, and maybe this'll even bleed into something else that I'm thinking about down the line. Let's do that today. So, what's going on? The last video, we unboxed the Ghostbusters, the Kenner Ghostbusters, which I did notice that the Kenner label was on there. There's both a Kenner label and a Hasbro label, so like I said, I'm not sure 100% as to what's going on with that. Maybe it is still a Kenner product, but maybe it used Hasbro for some reason, or Hasbro bought them. I don't know exactly what's going on. I really don't. I don't know. But I opened them, and then I wanted to do 2 videos at least this week, and I haven't been able to do them. I am fighting a pretty bad sinus infection. It's taking a lot of sinus pills just to be able to talk, and I'm sure that it's probably still noticeable. Maybe you noticed it in my voice. Maybe I'm a little nasally. I don't know. I just figured this video, hopefully my medicine would last long enough that I could get at least this out, because these aren't going to be super professional videos. These are going to be toy talks. That's the whole point of them. And yeah. Which is an actual shame that I didn't get to do videos this week, because Fangor did come out and I did get him. And I'm missing, because I want to be able to do that on the main camera and set everything up, and I want that video to be, I just want it to be one of my main videos. I don't want it to be like, hey, I'm sick and I'm talking to everybody. But this channel has missed deadline stuff before, and it will continue to do so. It is what it is. I don't do videos here where I talk about the newest toys all the time, because I don't hit the deadlines and I don't hit the trends. This whole channel is just me collecting, talking about collecting, and why these different fandoms affect me, giving my opinions. Hey, it's a talk show, man. It's basically a podcast with toys that bleed into everything else that the toys happen to touch or deal with in one way or another. That's the way the show is. And as part of that, as part of my journey through fandom, journey through collecting, I built the triangle that I talked about, the triangle of collecting. I think it's important. I think it's important to uphold that idea and run with it. And as such, I've made it a very extreme standard for myself that I actually pay attention to what I'm buying, why I'm buying, and what it affects, and go over the shelf regularly to remove things that were not buys that really are important to me, and things of that nature. Well, as such, I also want to set collection goals. And I figured, now that I've done the Ghostbusters, this would be one of the perfect times to talk about it. So, setting my first real collection goal with the Ghostbusters toys. And I'll do this with other properties as well as we go along. And it'll kind of give you an idea of what kind of videos that we should expect and things that I might be talking about down the line. So, in terms of Ghostbusters, this is a property that has been very big in my life. I absolutely love the Ghostbusters. Always have, more than likely, always will. But I don't feel, personally, that I need a gigantic Ghostbuster collection. I just don't think I need it. So I was thinking about it. And if I had to set a standard for Ghostbuster collecting, this coming up stuff, okay? I got the Hasbro Plasma Series Ghostbusters. I got the 4 Ghostbusters. That means I got the legs of Zool, but did not get Zool, because I did not buy the other 2 figures that I would have needed to get Zool. Or is it just one? No, it's 2 figures left. I needed Gozer, and I needed, oh man. how could I forget right now? You could tell that I'm not doing 100% right now. Dana Barrett. I still needed her. Do I want Dana on the shelf? Was she like an all-time favorite character or something like that? No. Just not. So, I'm not worried about picking her up, and I'm not worried about finishing Zool. Is the dog thing cool? Yes. If I found it somewhere, maybe as a separate thing, like at a convention or something, I'd pick it up. Maybe that would make sense for me. I don't know. It's not on my goals list, though. It's just something that I'm putting out there. So, for me, the main focus is the Ghostbusters. I have a set from the Plasma series, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I love them. I think they're amazing. You could check that video out. I also now have the Kenner line of Ghostbusters, which represents the other side of the fandom that I have enjoyed all my life, which is the real Ghostbusters. That cartoon was fantastic, and I absolutely loved it, and still to this day, still honestly appreciate it. Until it gets to the seasons where it becomes like Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, and it slowly starts to devolve into an Only Slimer show, and then it goes into like literally being Only Slimer, where they're doing stuff with like just him, and it's like a Looney Tunes thing where he's running from the scientist and everything like that. Sorry, excuse me, sinuses. I don't want that. That does nothing for me. But, that being said, that was a huge part of my life in general, and I do love it. I still love it, and so I came up with an idea. I'm going to split the shelf up here in half. So, at about that rung up, I'm going to split so that there's G.I. Joe on one side. I keep tapping my chest because I don't want to rub my nose because I don't want it getting worse. And then the other thing that I want to do is on the Kenner line, the Ghostbusters stuff. I want to have all my Ghostbusters stuff on the other side of the shelf. Now, I need to set a couple of things that I'm going after. I have the 4 Ghostbusters from the Real Ghostbusters, and I have the normal Ghostbusters. I don't need anything else from the movies. Nothing. I really don't. Just about anything that they release, I would be uninterested in. Maybe I'm not a huge enough fan. Whatever. You could say what you want. I personally love those movies. They mean a lot to me. But if I'm representing the fandom, and I only have so much space, we only have so much space and so much money, and I want the Ghostbusters represented, but I want them fully represented. So my idea here is that I now have the Kenner Ghostbusters and the original Ghostbusters. That's perfect. What am I missing is what this whole thing is adding up to. What should I hunt down? What should I be looking for to feel like my collection in Ghostbusters is complete, it's done, it's over? I don't need anything else. We can move on with other stuff. I would like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the same line. I already have Slimer. I already have the 4 Ghostbusters. A Stay Puft would be awesome. And the Ecto-1. A car that can go up there, that can be with those Ghostbusters, and I could put the car as the centerpiece, and put all the Ghostbusters around it. All of them. The original from the movies, and the guys from the Real Ghostbusters cartoon show. 4 Ghostbusters here, 4 Ghostbusters here, the car in the back, and then the Green Ghost. Maybe I'll even put the Green Ghost Slimer on top of the car and put Stay Puft on the other side. There's only one other thing to consider. The firehouse. Do I buy a firehouse? Well, question 1 comes down to, do I have room for such a thing? It's questionable that I do not. But I've made some good progress on finding spots for other playsets that I didn't think that I was going to be able to house either. So, look, Kenner Ghostbusters Firehouse. There it is. Let's look at this for a second. So if I go to my shopping, and I'm not going to bring this up. I guess I could, to be fair. Here, let me, you know what? These videos aren't exactly the super ridiculous professional here or whatever, so we'll just go ahead and we will do that. Let me click on me. Let me bring me down like this. There, you see that? I'm looking at stuff. We're just doing a quick little thing here to kind of see, you know, how this is, what kind of prices or whatever I'm going to come across if I do something like this. And it looks like I'd like it to be fairly complete. And I'm not doing an overall crazy search here. I'm just kind of looking. Excuse me. Looks like this is incomplete with characters. That's not what we want. We want complete. This has the car and a bunch of other stuff like that with it. And it's going like $425. This guy's asking almost $300. This guy's asking $300. It looks like this is a 100% complete. That's $210. That's 90% complete. I don't know exactly what he's missing, but he's missing something. Something that this guy has that this guy doesn't have. I'd like it to be in decent enough shape, right? Right? I mean, if you're going to spend the money, then you want it to be in decent enough shape. There's 400. Guys asking 400. Guys right here asking 179. I'm noticing different colors. That must be the way the plastic. Some people have got the plastics that have yellowed, and some have it, you know what I'm talking about, where it's and that doesn't necessarily shock me. But I would also imagine, and I'm just guessing here, but I would also imagine that if I get a firehouse, realistically, because look at this guy. This guy here on eBay, he's just like, oh, fire pole and base. I'll bet you that's all he's selling it. He's asking $32. You got to read these. You got to read these if you like click on them and everything like that. I'm not clicking on anything right now. I'm just kind of looking through, getting an idea. It looks like a base concept firehouse, loose, out of the box, complete for the most part, or complete enough, and then I could ask somebody to build, say, like 3D print me rails or something like that if I was missing something as simple as that. It looks like, to me, you could do this for $200. I'm saying $200 at a convention or off an eBay or something of that nature. With $200 put back, you could get the firehouse. That's a lot. I'll admit it. I will personally say that that's a lot. Look, when you're dealing in toys and you're like me, okay? I collect a lot of stuff. I enjoy a lot of stuff. I only have so much space. And all in all, I have to be careful as to what I'm going to buy. I only have so much money. I can't waste that money. I have to make sure that what was spent made something, it meant something, right? Like I've said time and time again. This collection, every item on that shelf has a story that pertains to me, my history, my enjoyment, my fandom. If it doesn't, it's got to go. Well, that being said, if I came across a firehouse in the wild after having this entire set, after completing my goal, car, Stay Puffed, that's it. That's my collection goal. 2 things. And as far as I'm concerned, unless something crazy happens, and there's a Plasma Series Ghostbuster car released from Hasbro, that's like really crazy good detail, I'd be done. I'd be done. I'd have what I want out of Ghostbusters to say, hey, I love Ghostbusters. The firehouse is the kicker. I would say that if I could get one at a reasonable price, hopefully under $200, That's being real. Under $200 at a convention or bought from somebody. That would probably work for me. And I would probably do it. Would I have to rearrange how the Ghostbusters are? Maybe. They would probably end up garage items because, like, my garage is going to become for my bigger stuff. Like, that's just the way it is. I'll have to store some stuff out there. But that's being makeshifted into like a little hangout area. Anyway, it's been in the works for a year or two now. Got a TV out there. Got all my old consoles out there. Got a bunch of toys out there. Got my D&D stuff out there where I run campaigns and whatnot. Got my D&D table out there. That's what my garage is. And that's what I do with it, really. It's kind of like a secondary little hangout area, as well as being like some storage for some of my extra collection stuff that really doesn't fit in here or really doesn't have too much of a purpose to go in here. It's also where I stage all the stuff that I sell and things like that. So, I would be interested in a firehouse, but I'm not going to make it one of my goals. My collection goal for Ghostbusters is that car from Kenner, the Ecto-1, Stay Puffed. That's it. Ghostbusters knocked off. It's done. I have all that I really want, all that I set out to do in collecting Ghostbusters for me, not for you, not for big collectors and whatnot, but for me, on a personal level, the Ghostbusters collection is complete if I can accomplish that goal. Stay Puffed, Ecto-1. That's where I'm going with this. I'm going to get out of here because my sinuses are getting worse by the second, as you can hear. My eyes are starting to get kind of iffy. Sinus infections, man. I hate them. I get them all the time. It's kind of what slows this channel down, in all honesty, or I'd have a video out like every 2 days and all. It's just what it is. But I get sinus infections. If my friends come over and smoke too much, I get sinus infections. If the weather changes, like, every time we go from fall into winter or whatever, like the season changes, causes my sinuses to go crazy. It's nuts. I hate it. I've always been this way. I'm a heavy Benadryl guy, I guess. I need it all the time. I have to take 24-hour allergy pills and whatnot every day just to make it through my day. It's rough. Been like that my whole life. But, guys, all that being said, I am going to get out of here. That's my goal right now, and with these videos, I hope to make this a decently normal thing where we come in and we discuss collecting of a specific property and what I would need to do with that property to feel like I'd honestly finished something. Because we don't need everything. Some people do. Some people do. But like, if I was to actually look at something and say, hey, what is it I'm primarily going for here? I need like a real high quality. This is Spider-Man. What's going on with the Gunpla? Am I just buying things randomly all the time, or should I create a focus? What it is specifically within Gundam that I am going for? That kind of stuff. That's what these videos need to be. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to discuss. And that's what they're going to discuss. This was the first of hopefully a lot of these as we discuss collecting, fandom, the problems that come with it. Maybe even do price comparisons and what it's actually going to take to complete goals during these videos. And maybe, if we get to a certain point, these will become live things that I do every 100 subs or something like that, where I come in and I'm like, all right, what's up? Let's talk some collection goals. And maybe even people can ask me, hey, what are you focusing on, blah, 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 for this? Or what's primarily what you're going after for Dragon Ball Z or stuff like that? Who knows? I don't know where these are going to go, but I would like to make these videos a more common thing on the channel alongside what I'm already doing, which is all the toy reviews and whatnot. So, yes, as soon as this clears up, hopefully this weekend, hopefully within the next day or two, I'm way better now than I was on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I was straight up bedridden, and yes, I still went to work. It was an absolute miserable experience. But as soon as I get the chance, Fangor. And not just Fangor, I got Wondar and a couple other things that really need to be opened. Some real cool stuff that need to be opened and get first impressions and whatnot from. Also, because I want them on the shelf, and I do not unbox them unless I do a video, a first impression to go with them. And there's some cool stuff on the shelf that I would really like unboxed. So, I'm going to get out of here. Later on, guys.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.